Welcome to the Veterans Gaming Podcast. This past June the 20th of 2025 marked the 45-year anniversary of one of the greatest fights in the history of professional boxing, and that was the very first matchup between Sugar Ray Leonard and Roberto Manos de Piedra Duran. This epic fight occurred June the 20th, 1980 in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, site of Sugar Ray Leonard's finest hour as an amateur, as he won Olympic gold for the United States and was a part of that legendary 1976 Olympic boxing team. Going into this battle against Roberto Duran, Sugar Ray Leonard was making the second defense of his WBC welterweight championship as well as defending the Ring Magazine belt, both belts which he had won in late 1979 against one of the all-time great fighters from Puerto Rico, Wilfredo Benitez. Sugar Ray Leonard was in his prime, 25 and 0 going into this title defense against a legend that had already been established, Roberto Mano de Piedra Duran. Roberto Mano de Piedra Duran is considered by many the greatest lightweight fighter of all time. And Roberto Duran, in order to challenge Sugar Ray Leonard for the welterweight title, went up two weight classes from 135 pounds to 147 pounds to challenge Sugar Ray Leonard. This would be the biggest payday at that time of Roberto Duran's career. I believe Sugar Ray Leonard, if I'm not mistaken, was making over $9 million for this fight. Roberto Duran was making either 1 or 2 million. And Roberto Duran clearly resented the fact that even though he had been a fighter for many years longer than Sugar Ray Leonard, and his resume, quite frankly, exceeded the resume of Sugar Ray Leonard as a pro. Roberto Duran made no bones about it that he had a lot of professional disdain for Sugar Ray Leonard. Roberto Duran going into this fight, impressive record of 71 wins with only one defeat. That one defeat came in 1972 against another all-time great Puerto Rican fighter, Esteban de Jesus. Roberto Duran had won the lightweight title in 1972, knocking out reigning champion Ken Buchanan, and Roberto Duran proceeded to make 12 successful defenses of his, I believe it was the WBA lightweight title, as well as the Ring Magazine lightweight title. And going into the Sugar Ray Leonard fight, Roberto Duran had was going on a 40 fight win streak after that loss to Esteban de Jesus. That loss to Esteban de Jesus in 1972 was a non-title fight, so he did not lose the lightweight title in that fight. However, during the his reign as lightweight champion, Roberto Duran was able to avenge that loss to Esteban de Jesus. So fast forward to 1980, June 20th, the Brawl in Montreal. A lot of pre-fight uh, a lot of pre-fight strategy by Roberto Duran, constantly insulting Sugar Ray Leonard, throwing kisses at him, cursing at him in Spanish, which is what Sugar Ray Leonard would say afterward. Uh, Sugar Ray Leonard's ex-wife, Juanita, was the victim of a lot of abusive language by Roberto Duran. I believe that in one of the press conference, he might have spat in her direction. Roberto Duran clearly playing mind games with the younger, inexperienced Sugar Ray Leonard, and was trying to goad Sugar Ray Leonard into fighting Roberto Duran's style, which was more of a street fight, standing in the middle of the ring, or uh, basically fighting in a phone booth, fighting toe to toe. Whereas that wasn't Sugar Ray Leonard's style. Sugar Ray Leonard's style was more to the outside, using his jab and using his strong um, right cross. But Roberto Duran was able to successfully lure Leonard into that trap with all the personal insults aimed at Sugar Ray personally and towards his family. So fast forward also to June 20th, 1980. In the process of those insults, Roberto Duran actually managed to win the hearts and minds of the crowd in Montreal going into that fight and in the night of the fight. Roberto Duran was the fan favorite. So Roberto Duran basically won over the crowd in 1980 that Sugar Ray Leonard won over in 1976. And from the opening bell, Roberto Duran was on Sugar Ray Leonard like white on rice. Sugar Ray Leonard went at Roberto Duran with the wrong strategy, which he would correct in the second fight. But in the first fight, he decided to stand flat-footed. He decided to stand in the middle of the ring against Roberto Duran, go toe-to-toe. They would also go toe-to-toe on the ropes. And this was something that prevailed throughout basically the entirety of the 15-round fight. Sugar Ray Leonard, even though he did lose, what a brave effort. He had his moments. He landed some really good shots, but Roberto Duran, what was just a menace. He was just an absolute savage, and he just pressure and more pressure and more pressure. He hit Ray with a hook, a left hook in the second round, almost knocked Ray down. But they continued to brawl as the rounds continued, and Roberto Duran just kept applying pressure. Sugar Ray Leonard was giving him a heck of a fight, but throughout the course of the fight, Roberto Duran was landing the harder shots, the more effective shots, and base swelled up Ray's face. Ray Leonard landed hooks, landed his fair shots, but if you watch the fight from beginning to end, it was a close fight, and a lot of that had to do with Sugar Ray Leonard being the naturally bigger man. With that being said, the fight did go to a decision back in the day where you had a 15 round fight. The announcer incorrectly said 147, 147. Um, all three judges had the fight in favor of Roberto Duran. And Roberto Duran, that was his finest hour. He is the only man that can say that he beat Sugar Ray Leonard in his prime. Now, 11 years later, Terry Norris, who was a very good fighter, he did beat Sugar Ray Leonard in 1991, but that was not the same Sugar Ray Leonard with the eye surgery and the multiple retirements. That was not the vintage Sugar Ray Leonard that we knew. Also, Hector Macho Camacho, the late great Hector Macho Camacho, knocked out Sugar Ray Leonard in 1997. That was obviously not a prime. Neither one of them were in their prime. Definitely not a prime Sugar Ray Leonard. But Roberto Duran is the only man that can say that he beat Sugar Ray Leonard in his prime. Sugar Ray Leonard made no excuses. He accepted his defeat, went on vacation to Hawaii, and that's kind of segues into what happened in the second fight. A lot of people were saying, hey, if you had just fought him outside, you could have won the fight. It was a close fight, even though you fought Duran's fight. And so that's how negotiations started for the second fight. And, if you know what happened, he basically made Duran say no mas. But it all started with this fight here on June 20th, 1980, the Brawl in Montreal. If you have the opportunity to see that fight from beginning to end, like I have on a few occasions, you have got to see that fight. It is one of the greatest fights in the history of boxing, regardless of weight class. So again, if you are a boxing fan, whether you're a casual fan or you're a diehard boxing fan, you have got to see that. You have got to see that fight. It is riveting action from round one all the way up until the end of that 15 round epic fight. And those are just my thoughts on that fight. You want to comment? Feel free to comment in the comment section, and I am out.